Imagine in your mind a truly fearless hero, a person that would risk life and limb to save others, not because they love them, but because they are duty-bound to protect the innocent. Imagine, if you will, the fierce gleam in their eyes, the look of unbreakable resolve, the way they carry themselves, knowing they will accomplish their goal whether they survive or not. This type of hero is rare in everyday life, but thankfully, Dead by Daylight has one such character. His name is Bill Overbeck. But old Billiam's video comes later. Today, we're talking about Leon Scott Kennedy, the hero of Racoon City and, to be honest, the scourge of Spain. So let's get into it and say, Leon mains, where did they come from? Where did they go? And
where's everyone going? Bingo?
hello everyone, I'm DasFood, and I'm currently in hiding because I learned that people from my real life have discovered my YouTube channel. It's like all of my not so hidden dorkiness has spilled into the public eye, and I am not okay. Help me feel better by doing the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, become a channel member if you're really bad, you know, the usual. Today's video continues our mains series and focuses on the man who is debatably Resident Evil's most enduring protagonist, Leon S. Kennedy. Like we've done for everyone else, we're going to look at the who, how, and why of Leon while also checking out his perks and cosmetics before ultimately hitting him with the tried and true vibe check. So stock up on red herbs, look out for Mr. X, make sure nobody opens the file labeled Ada on your desktop, and let's get into it. The year is 1998. During this time, Tom Hanks is busy saving Matt Damon's Private Ryan, Cher just discovered the wonders of autotune, and the New York Yankees actually won a game during the World Series. Could not be current year. They actually won all of them, sweeping the San Diego Padres, which, you know, that's sad. Also happening in the year of 1998 was the release of the highly anticipated sequel to 1996's Resident Evil, cleverly named Resident Evil 2. Man, they just don't make catchy titles like that anymore. This game is notable for many reasons, namely the introductions of series favorites such as Ada Wong, Claire Redfield, and the first and sexiest of Resi's Titan enemies, Mr. X. Sorry, Lady Dimitrescu, you've got nothing on the man in the bowling cap. As a quick aside, I love that the lore reason that he wears the bowling cap and the trench coat is to blend in, as if this 8-foot-tall monstrosity with like a milky white face that's just deranged beyond belief is going to blend in at all. I don't know. I think it's funny. But anyway, back to it. Most popular of all the new characters, however, was the game's main protagonist, a scrappy young cop named Leon Kennedy. You see, it's Leon's first day on the job, and he's really not enjoying his new career path. The town of Racoon City has been infiltrated by the T-virus, and it's up to Leon and Claire to figure out what's going on. They eventually save the city, you know, in a Douglas MacArthur kind of way. And all is relatively well. Sometime later, Leon is hired by the President of the United States to save the President's daughter, who has gone missing somewhere in Spain. While in Spain, Leon really comes into his own as a character. He's undeniably quippier and funnier this time around, and not always intentionally. The wrestling moves he hits on enemies are hilarious, and will likely bode well for him if he ever decides to step foot into the squared circle. And I absolutely love that he is taken aback when he invades a small Spanish home, and he's just flustered that the owner won't talk to him in English. A true American hero, through and through, damn it. Long story short, Leon simps after Ada, misses all of Ashley's advances, and eventually completes his mission. He also has a role to play in Resident Evil 6, but I didn't play that one. Haven't seen the animated films either, so for our purposes, I will now skip to the part where fog surrounds him and Leon finds himself roasting s'mores at an eternal campfire with the likes of Dwight, Zarina, and Sable, amongst others. So that is his backstory. That answers the question of who Leon Kennedy is. I know, I switched up the format, sorry if that was strange, but now we've got to ask, how is Leon Kennedy? Well, on the one hand, he's being hunted by the clowns, trappers, and spirits of the world for the rest of time. His every move is watched by bloodthirsty predators, and he will know nothing but desperation and pain for the rest of time. On the other hand, he gets to spend an eternity with Ada Wong. All told, I think he's doing pretty well. Moving along, let's now ask, why is Leon Kennedy? Of all Resident Evil characters, why did the developers at Behavior Interactive choose to add Leon to the game? I mean, honestly, this one should be pretty easy. Resident Evil has exactly two superstar protagonists in Jill Valentine and Leon, and they were both added in the same DLC. He was added because he is a stud amongst studs, and to leave him out would have been a huge misstep on Behavior's part. He's currently the 15th most played survivor in the game, and his numerous mains absolutely adore him. His ranking would likely be even better and trend towards top 10 status, but he is currently below several newer releases like Trevor Belmont, Tori Kane, and Lara Croft. In time, he may continue to climb the ranks, but right now, he's in a good spot all the same. But that's the who, how, and why. Let's keep it going and talk about perks. Like all survivors, Leon was given 3 unique teachable perks upon entering the fog. These are called Bite the Bullet, Flashbang, and Rookie Spirit, but I've renamed them to Rub Some Dirt on It, Bang Bro, and I'll finish what you started. You know, Kylo Ren style. Let's start with Rub Some Dirt on It. This perk makes it so that when healing, you and the survivor you're healing make no noise, which includes grunts of pain. If you miss a skill check, no worries, because the regression penalty has been reduced to only 1%. This perk pairs well with healing perks like the General perk Will Make It, Claudette Morel's Botany Knowledge, or Adam Francis's Autodidact, which is my personal favorite perk in the game. You can also pair it with Claudette's Self-Care to heal yourself silently right under the killer's nose, though you may be better off just bringing a medkit for that. There's no denying that this perk has some value, as many killers use their hearing to hunt down and finish off injured survivors. I've seen many heals get completed very close to an oblivious killer, and that's always thanks to this perk. It needs another healing perk to justify its spot in a lineup, but I really do like it. While some will say that I'm overrating it, I give this one a comfortable 3 out of 5. Definitely not a bad choice if you're looking to do your teammates a solid, which you should because you're a team. Up next, we have Bang Bro, a perk that makes it where after completing 40% of any generator's progress, you can enter a locker and craft a flash grenade. These grenades can be used to create a loud noise notification or to stun and blind the killer. The main way that you'll see this perk used is to free a down teammate from the killer's grasp, as if you drop it at just the right time, you can make the killer drop a survivor that they just picked up. A lot of killers are pretty good at avoiding this, but the strength of this perk comes when that teammate is in a position where the killer doesn't have a whole lot of choice but to risk the stun. Because of this perk's altruistic nature, running Hinatu Lira's background player is almost a must. This will help you close the gap with the killer and achieve a critical save that could be really beneficial to your efforts. If not that, Meg Thomas's Sprint Burst can also do the trick, so long as you're careful with your exhaustion. It's not a bad idea to pair this one with gen progression perks either, seeing as though the more gen progress you make, the more bombs you can create. This is especially good since you can give crafted pipe bombs to your teammates, which makes for very timely gifts during the Christmas season. For as fun as this perk is, it's pretty difficult to get consistent value out of it, especially in solo queue. I also don't love the thought of having to hop in a locker every so often to actually retrieve the grenades, which lowers the perk's viability. I will give it a 2 out of 5 on the usefulness scale, though from a fun perspective, it is a perfect 5 out of 5, which is really all that matters because it's a video game and you should play them for fun. Lastly, we come to I'll finish what you started. This perk makes it so that after hitting 3 generator skill checks, you can see the auras of any regressing generator for the rest of the match. If you're not running something like Deja Vu, this is a great way to stay on top of nearly completed generators that your teammates get run off of just before popping them. I especially love this perk for solo queue purposes, as it gives you a good idea of where both the killer and your teammates are. For as much as I enjoyed this one, at the end of the day, it's just not all that great. Not horrible by any means, but it's always hard to treat a perk too kindly that Discord calls essentially take the place of. It's a cozy 2 out of 5, but again, I do think it has some solo queue value that it probably doesn't get enough credit for. Moving along, we will get into cosmetics, and the first one Leon has is his base cosmetic, which is his RPD uniform. Not a whole lot going on here. I mean, it's a fairly standard affair going on, and I do like the vest. I think the vest looks cool. I like that he's a little almost over accessorized, which is kind of common with Resident Evil characters, but I really do think it works. And overall, he looks pretty good. I think this one's cool. It looks even better if it's bloody because it feels like it's at the end of Resi 2 where he's just gone through this really hellish night. So you can just imagine he wraps that up and then all of a sudden he just finds himself in the Entities realm, which, I mean, kind of fun. After that, he has his Resident Evil 4 cosmetic. This was his emo scene phase where he's got the hair that's right out of the 2000s. You know, he's listening to like old Falling in Reverse or My Chemical Romance songs, and it's a fun look. I think the jacket is really cool and likely inspired one of Brendan Fraser's looks in The Mummy. This one is just really fun. Speaking of which, please bring The Mummy to the game, my goodness. But anyway, yeah, this is a great cosmetic, and I find that I run it a lot when I play Leon. After that, we get a more formal look for Leon. This is his detective noir. Very, very handsome look, very classy look. I love the vest. I love the holsters for the guns. I like his haircut. I think that's looking good for him. This one is not one I personally own, but it's one I would like to at some point because I really do think it looks good. And again, I see people running it, which is kind of the same for all of Leon's cosmetics, and that's really cool. I like that you actually see a pretty good array of cosmetics with this character. Finally, for Leon, he also has his Christmas sweater, which I mean, at this point, it's nothing special. It's just kind of like any other Christmas sweater. I like that it's got the little zombies on it. I like that it's got some bullseyes. The color scheme, it's nice enough, and it's kind of police officer-y, so it ties into his background too. Overall, it's a fun sweater, if not an exceptionally great one. He also does have legendaries for Chris and Carlos, and you know, I mean, they both look fine enough, but we'll get to those when we actually cover Chris and Carlos, because at some point I would like to cover legendary characters. Now that we have gone over Leon's admittedly few cosmetics, hey, he still has more than Quentin, right? Sorry, Council Quintins, I love you guys. Let's move on to the vibe check. Now, let me say up front that the vibe check is not really about the lore of a character in question, because look, Tori Kane is evil, but her mains may prove to be chill as we have more time to get to know them. Nancy Wheeler is a generally nice person, but her mains have a habit of being demons. And so on and so forth. This isn't about the actual character, in which case, if it were, Leon would probably pass pretty easily. He's brave, he's selfless, he's loyal, all sorts of positive adjectives. But when it comes to Leon's mains, I'm sorry to say that for the first time in this series, he does not pass the vibe check. And here's the thing, Leon mains mean well. They really, truly do. And I am the last person who should be commenting on other people's skill or lack thereof in Dead by Daylight. I'm bad and I know it. But it has to be said, Leon mains are overwhelmingly awful at this particular video game. Maybe you're a Leon main and your Mr. Taterhead levels have cracked. I genuinely love that. That's awesome. Unironically, I'm proud of you. But 90% plus of Leon mains are just not that good. They tend to be the teammates who run into walls, accidentally sandbag, go down in 10-second chases, and waste half the match trying to get flashbang value. I love Leon mains, but I love them from a distance. Respectfully, I really don't want them on my team when I load into a lobby. They're chill enough, but they would really benefit from learning the basics of looping. I hate to do it, but Leon makes history as our first character not to pass the vibe check. But that's gonna do it for me. I would love to know how you feel about Leon mains, and I want to do something a little different with this one. I am going to pin a comment and ask you to vote on who the next character will be in this series. Whoever gets the most votes will be the one I make the video on. If by some freakish accident there's a tie, I'm just gonna pick the one I want to do the most out of those that I think would make for the best video. So I do look forward to seeing who y'all choose there. It can be any of the survivors in DBD, and I will make the video, so looking forward to seeing that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for spending some time on my little channel. I do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time here. And until the next one, I have been Das Food. Bye, friends.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness.